What's going on, everybody? It's Oskino the Don. It is July 1st, 2023. So, if you haven't been paying attention lately, actually, as of yesterday, ESPN has fired a lot of their employees. And, you know, mainly the big names that you guys will recognize Max Kellerman, Jeff Van Gundy, and who's the others? Jalen Rose, Keyshawn Johnson, amongst the others. I'm not going to mention all the other names only because, well, at least for me, they're not that noticeable. They're not really that interesting to actually watch when these personalities are actually on a show or covering basketball, whatever sport that they're actually covering. I don't know who's going to replace them. I keep hearing a lot about Shannon Sharp, but Shannon Sharp has not said anything himself. So these are all just rumors going around. But I mean, damn. Layoffs happen in every single job. Doesn't matter. But what's interesting, I think, is the timing of these layoffs. Now, they did say earlier in the year that they were going to be laying off more people. However, now this is alleged, but allegedly there's been a lot of reported child ornaments. I'm going to use the ornaments for another word. Y'all know what I mean. But a lot of child ornaments going on around Disney. And if you're not aware, Disney owns ESPN. So, and like I said, alleged. But the reason why I say alleged is because trials and things of that nature have to happen. But I would not be surprised at all if there's a lot of child or children ornament type of stuff going on. We've heard about it all the time. So it's just like it's only a matter of time for more people get exposed and more people get fired, and Disney takes hits financially, so they have to let go of people. And that's how it goes. Will the real perpetrators and things of that nature of this children ornament get in trouble? Very unlikely. But, the company stock is going to continue to drop. And if you're asking me, there's some people at ESPN that definitely needed to be fired, but it seems like they're not going to be fired. Now, it's like Max Kellerman, he's been at ESPN for a long time. He knows the sports, and particularly boxing. Like, they could have definitely, in my opinion, kept him there for especially boxing. Because you got people like Malika Andrews and Molly Kiram, who, in my opinion, you know, they may be nice people outside of their show, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they need to get off of the air. I'm just saying because, and especially Malika Andrews, like I watch people with a fair eye. It just seems like she has something against men and black men in particular, and really never has anything to offer when it comes to actually breaking down sports, talking about sports, the integral parts of free agency, having to move a family to a new state, and all things of that nature that, you know, she doesn't even offer to talk about or even give a respectable opinion on. It's always trying to make people look bad. I'm like, I don't understand why ESPN has hired her. I don't know how she got her job. I don't know what her qualifications are to talk about sports. And I just think that ESPN is doing a terrible job at just playing we need to be more, what's the word that I'm looking for? More inclusive, or we need to be, we need to have more representation for people of color and women. So let's just throw people in there instead of actually getting women who played sports and know sports talk about sports. You see, because it's like what I'm seeing with ESPN is it's all about an aesthetic, a certain look that they want to present to people instead of a certain type of quality of content. I miss rest in peace, Stuart Scott, one of the best to ever do it. ESPN still has some of their legendary personalities, but it's like y'all trying to replace them with just people that look a certain way and talk a certain way, or I should say speak a certain way, which is very negative on men. So, there's a lot of women that are talking about men's sports and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. ESPN needs to fire those people as well. Once you bring in some women that not only know sports but played sports, and will actually talk about women's sports as well. Because bringing in all of these women to talk about men's sports isn't going to help women's sports. It's not. So, I mean, ESPN, y'all got some more cleaning up to do because, in my opinion, you definitely should have kept Max Kellerman. I love Jalen Rose, former basketball player. I mean, and I don't see Shannon Sharp coming over there because, unless he gets a deal like Stephen A., which I doubt, um, I don't see Shannon Sharp going to ESPN, at least not full time. Maybe he'll have something set up where he goes there like maybe once a week or something like that, just to, you know, um, keep his face out there. But I would really like to see Shannon Sharp get his own show. Wherever that is, obviously that's up to him. But ESPN definitely fired over 15 people, and like I said, mainly the main names are the Max Kellermans, Jeff Van Gundy, Keyshawn Johnson, you know, and I have a running joke on why I think Max Kellerman got fired. I think because Stephen A. Smith truly did not like the dude, especially that one episode where Terrell Owens had claimed that Max Kellerman is more black than Stephen A. I think Stephen A. has never gotten over that. It bothers him to the core. And in my opinion, that's the worst thing you could say to a black man is that a white man is more black than him. Whether those statements are accurate or not, and even if the person that you say it to knows it's not, it's really very disrespectful. So he really should have been more mad at Terrell Owens instead of Max Kellerman. But now Max Kellerman is going from ESPN. I really enjoyed his boxing analysis because he really knows his boxing. But yeah, man, ESPN. I don't know, y'all. Y'all are looking kind of bad right now because it's less and less quality content, and y'all just firing the wrong people. So I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming days. I should say coming years at ESPN. I mean, some are saying that this is due to inflation, which it may very well be. And, that's a whole nother topic because I think this inflation is artificially made. It's just like, let's hold resources and jump the prices because we're so greedy. I'm talking about, the shadow governments of the world, the ones of the people who we never see. But with that being said, I just wanted to touch base real quick about this ESPN firing or laying off, as they like to professionally put it. But leave what you think in the comments below, or who you think should have gotten fired, who should have stayed. What do you think about ESPN as a company? Are they falling apart? Are they trying to quote unquote reinvent themselves? I'm 34 years old. I've been watching ESPN and Sports Center damn near my whole life, and it looks like a totally different product. They still got some good parts to it, but I just feel like they are forcefully trying to be inclusive and force diversity. Diversity does not need to be forced when it comes to color and gender. Diversity needs to be sought after when it comes to the way people think, the way that people see things. When you have diversity in thought, then you will have a beautiful show. But when you just bring in the same people to do the same roles, it gets tiring. It's like stale bread. You need something new. And it doesn't mean bringing in new people based off of looks. It means bringing in new ideas, new perspectives. ESPN, that's what you're missing. I could shoot. Should let me audition. I show them how to debate. I show them how to break down any sport because I played all sports, at least all of the major ones, and I know what it takes to actually be great. You got to put in the work. You got to study. And when it comes to sports where you really have to study your opponents, where you got to break down film, these are things that if you want to be great in your sport or even talk about the sport, you really got to analyze the game. You can't just watch it. You got to break it down. You got to see, all right, this player, when he doesn't get the ball, doesn't play defense. I mean, these are little things that could make or break a championship team. So, and you don't really hear too many analysts just breaking that down. So, ESPN, I think I need to do a better job and bring in people that have diversity in thought, not diversity in looks. It's eventually going to look the same anyway. So it really don't matter. But that's it for today on this topic. Leave what you think in the comments below. Who should have got fired? Who should stay? What do you think about ESPN? And I'm always open for suggestions and other topics to speak on. It's your man Oskino the Don. Have a blessed day, y'all.